Hey, everybody, and welcome to Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up right here on GOVSradio.com, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Boxcast. And like my good friend Ken Pichel always says, we on TV, y'all. And yes, indeed, we are, folks. I'm your host, Don Sill. We got a great show for you today. We got You Think. You Think is on the show. No, I'm not calling you a Think. I'm saying you think. He's a writer for SNL and a stand-up comedian all the way from the 80s boom through now. He's an Emmy Award winner. Very fun interview with him. Also, we have a 2020 year in review with none other than our Govs Radio host of his own show here on Govs Radio, the Grozinator himself, Anthony Grozade, the Groz, host of Limo Talk. He's on the show. We go over the year 2020, the good, bad, and the ugly. So that's a lot of fun. So stay tuned for that. But right now, without further ado, here he is, folks. My good buddy, Benny Gagoots Rizzuti. Benny, how you doing, pal?
I'm doing great, Don. How you doing, man?
Doing good,
I'm doing
man.
great. I'm wearing my Christmas pajamas. I haven't taken them off in 4 days.
Very good. This is the time. I mean, I guess you got some days off and you just relax around the house. You walk around
Really,
smoking a pipe and everything.
Oh yeah, the pipe is going. Some people burn a Yule log. I got the Yule pipe, baby.
There you go.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
Let me tell you, smoking mistletoe works. Woo-hoo.
So you're feeling good. You're doing good. Are you counting down the days to the new year? You're looking forward to 2021.
3, 2, 1. Light them up. Let's see 2021 here. It's here. Thank you, 2021, and thank you, Kia. Yay! Woo!
I don't know. I don't know. Okay. As you reach my age, when you get older, you're like, whoa, you know.
I feel like a lot of people.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of people are scared to embrace a new year after last year. Like I remember last year when it was, going into 2020, everyone was like, 2020 is going to be my year. This is my decade. I'm going to kick this thing up. Then we all had like the most horrendous year ever. And for a lot of people, it was really bad. For a lot of people, really, really bad. I mean, lost loved ones or you lost your life.
Yeah,
or,
a lot of people
jobs.
passed away. Yeah.
Breaking news tonight on several fronts on the coronavirus pandemic. The shockwaves from President Trump's decision to ban nearly all travel from Europe. Americans scrambling to get home from overseas before it takes effect. States and cities taking drastic measures to enforce social distancing. New York's governor banning gatherings over 500 people. California banning events of 250 or more. Now some states closing all public schools. Also tonight across the country, the mass cancellations, Broadway going dark, Disneyland and Universal Studios Hollywood shutting down. March Madness called off. The NBA, MLB, and NHL delaying their seasons. A second NBA player testing positive. And Hollywood legend Tom Hanks and his wife Rita Wilson infected. The stock market in free fall, the Dow plunging over 2,000 points. The worst day since the 1987 crash.
A lot of losses in this year. So I think going into 2021, people are kind of refraining from embracing the new year. That we're kind of going in with like tippy toes, like, all right, let's see what happens with this year,
Yeah. It's I agree with you. There are some people who think, 2021 is going to get better. It's going to take a long time, maybe 2022. Maybe we should just skip a year.
I just hope we have a better holiday season in 2021 than we did this one. Like, the Thanksgiving, the Christmas, and going into New Year's, there's not a lot of people getting together. Like for me, my mother actually got COVID. So what happened was everyone didn't want to do Christmas gatherings this year. So we met up in the parking lot in the driveway and handed our presents off. And then, we're all wearing masks and the outside, and it was just not really festive,
Yeah.
so it's just weird, man.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me. It was we had our gifts, switched. My goddaughter delivered them to us. She delivered them to my cousins. We didn't get together for any of the holidays. It's very sad. And because I usually look forward to it, and we're doing shots.
Yeah, you're
Uncle
having
Benny
fun.
is the instigator. Yeah, I'm the instigator. And some of them were like, "I'm not going to do a shot without you," and I'm like, "I'm doing a shot, so do one. I got the Jägermeister in the freezer."
You got to do everything virtually now. Everything's, like me and my father, we were on Zoom, and I watched him open up the presents I got him, and vice versa. It's just different. And, it just stinks. And I guess hope that in 2021, that's the one thing that I really am hoping is an improvement is, give it a full year from now, that next year holiday seasons are better than this one.
That would be something great to ask for. That would be something great to have, because we're all getting older here, and we're missing the older you get, the less holidays you have, the less fun that you have.
Yeah, things have changed since we last spoke, particularly in the UK. Tier and level restrictions have become stricter in the UK, primarily due to a new strain of said thing we cannot talk about on YouTube, and it's left a lot of people feeling very upset and vulnerable and confused and isolated, and a lot of plans have changed.
What would you say, Benny, was your favorite part, if there was a favorite part, of 2020? Is there any positives?
I think one of my favorite parts is this variety show was the saving grace. So this variety show was my positive note, was doing this variety show.
Same here. This show, when we first did it, I remember I thought we would only have maybe two or three, and then we'd be back.
So long story short, I'm helping out people in the area, man. I'm doing some home deliveries.
Very cool. What kind of stuff?
I'm heading right now to drop off some medication to a buddy of mine up in Farmingdale, along with some chips and some soda.
Oh, very good, man. That's an awesome thing that you're doing, and you're being careful yourself. I see you got the mask. Are you all gloved up and everything? And you're taking precautions?
The stuff, the mask and the glasses and the gloves, is more or less for the people I'm dropping the stuff off, because they think I'm a dirtbag to begin with,
And here we are. I lost count of how many shows we've done. I think we definitely did like 30 something of these.
Yeah.
Which doubles what we did with the game show. And it's just crazy. Who would have thought? But it worked out in a way for us where it was something fun, was something to look forward to. We did get to meet a lot of comedians and a lot of interesting people. So that's a positive.
Yeah, that's one of the few positives. I got to spend a lot more time with my wife.
Yeah.
She might be listening.
Okay, so
I love that. That was great. That brought us even closer together. I think she's by the door.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that's great for you.
Oh, yeah, that was wonderful.
Yeah.
That was great. It really brought us closer and closer together after all these years. It was.
Hi there, this is comedian Christian Finnegan. I just wanted to take a moment and say something just straight from the heart, just, off the top of my head, just something I feel very passionately. Okay, here we go. Make sure you watch Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up on GOVSradio.com, Facebook Live, and Boxcast. They're on the TV. Thanks for letting me get that off my chest.
Hey there, y'all. This is Dick Eldorado here. The people have been asking me, hey there, Dick Eldorado, what the hell y'all going to be doing on New Year's Eve? I'm going to be drunker than a shithouse rat and alone. Drunk and alone, because when that ball drops, it's going to be summing up what this whole 2020 was. A shit sandwich. And I'm going to stand there, and I'm going to be drunk, and I'm going to be alone. So there you go. Happy 2021.
You know what? Some of you look scared. Don't be afraid. Maybe it's because when you go to hear the Philharmonic in concert, you don't know when to applaud.
All right, everybody. My next guest is an Emmy Award-winning comedian and comedy writer who has established himself as one of the leading voices of cutting-edge humor in late-night television. He was a writer for NBC's famed SNL, as well as the Showbiz Show with David Spade and the 2020 Writers Guild Awards, just to name a few. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only You Think You. How are you, sir?
I'm good. It's an honor to be here, Don.
Yeah, it's an honor to have you on the show. You know, you've been around for a long time. I remember watching you on like the Rodney Dangerfield thing, and you just been around forever. And I seen you like on TV. You've been on everything, Comedy Central, Tough Crowd. You've kind of done it all through the comedy world there.
Thank you. I came up during a rich time of stand-up, you know, when stand-up comedians still treated it kind of as an art form instead of just a profession.
Right.
And then obviously I segued into writing and producing for television, but stand-up's still my first love. And I always tell people, they go, what do you do? I go, I'm a comedian, even though I don't go on stage nearly as much as I used to.
Right. Yeah. Because you're a multi-talented guy. You're a writer, producer, musician, violinist, and comedian. But it all comes down to the writing. Writing's the backbone of it all. Would you say?
I would say, and I've been, especially lately, getting into watching more dramas, say dramatic series for television and even movies. And I really think, Don, that the backbone of great drama is writing. In other words, there could be a mediocre drama and you have great actors, you'll elicit tears or emotion. But what separates, an okay drama from a great one? It's the writing. It's totally the writing. So I'm a huge believer and fan of anyone who can put pen to paper in a clever way.
I think that's the key, like you said, with any kind of art form. When it comes down to it, is even with music, it's all in the writing. Yeah, I mean, there's great improv and all of that, and some people are really great off the cuff or crowd work. But even then, there's a sense of writing in there. I mean, how much is really spontaneous?
That's exactly right. I think with comedy, particularly, the fun is making your audience think that it's improvised and off the cuff, but more times than not, some of the most quotable, greatest comedy moments are completely scripted. It's just, it's fun for the audience to go, wow, I can't believe he made that up in the moment. It's like, okay, whatever.
From there, it was off to Istanbul, Turkey, which is an amazing country. Because, I admire any nation where no matter what restaurant you eat in, they play that same one song in the background that never ends.
Now you came up through the 90s, I'd say, or you were in 80s?
Yeah, I mean, by the 90s, I was starting to actually get my major career credits, but I started stand-up in the 80s, like at the tail end of the boom, I would say.
Right. Yeah.
And, growing up in Indiana, then moving to New York City for college, and then coming to Los Angeles to do stand-up.
And it's always cool, to talk to a guy who's kind of been there from the 80s, like you said, the boom, right, the tail end through now, because you've seen a comedy really evolve. Some for the better, some for the worse. Like you were there through the Dice Clay, who can never exist in this era now. So you've been there through when comedy was completely free. After Lenny Bruce, then all of a sudden it was like the gates were open, anything goes. Now you listen to Dice, and even me, who I grew up loving Dice, but now you kind of cringe a little bit. Go, oh my God, how did he get away with that?
And they try to embarrass you, like when you're with your girlfriend. They'll come over right in front of her face, and they'll, would you like to buy a flower for the lady? Hey, let me tell you something. I fucked this lady 4 times already today, all right? Catch me early evenings, you fucking chink bastard. You slanty-eyed cocksucker, what you are. They're all the same, Japs, chinks, it's all the same shit.
It's so funny you mentioned him, Don, because just earlier today, before I'm doing this interview with you, I did basically a live comedy show on Zoom for a major financial group in New York City. And as part of the show, they paid Dice to do one of those cameo videos. Oh, and it was just such a trip to see Dice basically doing Dice Man from 30 years ago, being irreverent, swearing profusely, and so it made me sort of, for me, it's kind of bittersweet to watch him do that.
This is Dicey Dice, twice as nice, nicey nice. Look at this, I even put on the Christmas lights. I do a whole thing. Here, look, I'll give you the whole package. Look at this. You think I care?
But I think your summation of where my comedy career fit in terms of the times was very accurate, in terms of seeing a lot of people who, changed the business of comedy and the art of comedy I started with or came up with, for sure.
And do you think comedy, because now obviously this past year with the pandemic and the protests and all of these things, and the last few years we've had this kind of cancel culture where, and I think some of it is for the good, right? There are some things we shouldn't say and act on and joke about, I guess. But do you think at the same time, which, when you're talking about free speech or being funny or just, saying things that are wrong deliberately to get a reaction, do you think it's better or worse now, like for new comedians?
I want to go back to something you said a few minutes ago, where you said that I've seen comedy evolve, and you said for the better and worse. You nailed it. It's like, sadly, Don, I think some aspects of comedy have devolved. And what I mean by that is, I don't mean just the audience. I mean comedians themselves, that there doesn't seem to be as much care about taking pride in writing your material and perfecting it. It's much more of the school of, I just have ideas and I'm going to go up and wing it and be in the moment. And that doesn't really appeal to me as much as a stand-up who really works on their craft, right? And takes a story or a joke or a bit and hones it until it's great.
Right.
So that's an issue I have. Then in terms of what's happened with audiences, obviously there's problems because colleges used to be thought of as the greatest place for comedians to be free and uncensored. Now, a lot of college campuses, it's the opposite, right?
They'll silence you.
Right. You have to be really careful. If you say the wrong thing, a couple students can protest and it can hurt your career.
Like if my daughter Sally was trans, I'd be fine with it. That's not how they think. Just like you guys up here think that there's 40 genders. I'm not going to judge you, but that's the way they think.
You know you're on right? Liberal college.
I do think it's a mixed bag. It's not all bad and it's not all good.
Yeah, because it feels like if you're a comedian, like you said, and you're on a college campus, or even if you're in a club and you offend somebody, they don't just complain to the owner anymore of the club. Now it's going viral, and it's not just your that one show. It could be your whole career, and we've seen a lot of comedians, have that happen to them.
I'm horrified, and I'm sorry. And I'm embarrassed.
I am so sad, and I am so angry.
I do apologize to the Vice President.
I made a mistake, I fucked up, and I'm sorry if I duped you as well.
You know, I'm not perfect. I'm not going to sit up here and say that I am or claim to be in any way, shape, or form.
I wanted to come on here and publicly say that I am so sorry, you know, for everything. I just get bored in the house, and I'm in the house bored.
You're right. It used to be thought of that a comedy club or a comedy show is a safe place for free speech, right? Because you're not a news journalist reporting facts. You're a comedian being funny. And if someone took it the wrong way, they could confront you after the show. As you said, they could fill out a comment card at the comedy club.
Right.
They didn't have social media. They didn't have a way to get hundreds of thousands of people to see your bit or quote you and have other people go, I don't know who the comic is and I've never seen that show, but I think that's offensive and I'm going to join you. And that sucks. And he shouldn't be allowed to say that. So of course it is a bad thing. I am a believer in, you know, it's a free marketplace, right? So if you're a comedian and an audience decides not to buy your tickets, well, that's their right. They don't have to support you. That's a different issue though than sort of this mass group of people ganging up on you when you can't even defend yourself.
Right. And a lot of times too, like when things start to go viral, the joke or the premise gets taken out of context. And you know, what could be, you know, let's just say a rape joke or a racist joke or something like that, that could be in a character, or who knows, maybe they don't publish the punchline or the punchline's offensive. So it's just hard to equate that into words on, you know, versus the delivery.
You're right. So, you know, in 1998, I wrote a sketch for Saturday Night Live, and I'm a Jewish writer on the show, and I wrote a bit about Hanukkah.
Spinning dreidels, eating latkes, burning candles, Hanukkah is fun.
And on Monday morning, my sketch was being protested by the Anti-Defamation League. And it was crazy to me because they were saying that my sketch was anti-Semitic and that it should be banned from television. And of course, I'm proud of my Jewishness. I wrote it. I'm Jewish. And they didn't even care who wrote it. And nor, as you said, did they get the context that I was doing satire. I was making fun of bigotry and anti-Semitism. But they just took it as face value, which if you do that, you would ruin a lot of comedy.
Happy, happy Hanukkah. This is such a happy holiday.
And yeah, I think too, Saturday Night Live is a perfect example of that, because through the years that they've never held back, that they kind of, you know, go straight at pop culture. And and you know, they used to be more, you know, wider spectrum, you know. But let's get into this with SNL. When were you writing on that
So
show?
I started, here's the best way to say it, Don. I started and left with Will Ferrell. So
Nice.
I started in 1995 when they brought in a bunch of new writers, including me, Adam McKay, you know, who's gone on to become a major director, Oscar-winning screenwriter.
Yeah.
Tim Herlihy wrote all of Adam Sandler movies. And then I left in 2002 at the same time that Will left. So I was there 7 years.
So you did the whole duration with Will.
With Will.
And I remember that first year too, because that was like almost the whole cast was new too.
It was almost all new people. That's right.
Yeah. Wow. So which sketches did you write any notable, like, well, what share?
Yeah.
With
So
us?
I think my most notable ones are, there's a sketch I wrote, I don't know if you remember, called Stevie Nicks Fajita Roundup, a fictitious Mexican restaurant run by Stevie Nicks where she sang Fleetwood Mac songs about being on coke. So that sketch has become a cult following. In fact, Vulture magazine or Decider did an article about it a few months ago. You can look it up.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool. I wrote all of Norm Macdonald's Larry King's.
One of the great figures of the 20th century has to be James Brolin. The more I think about it, the more I love chicken. A great, great meet.
People love those.
Oh, yeah.
Where we just bashed Larry for being this senile, pretentious guy. Then while I was there, Don, I wrote more monologues than any writer during those 7 years. So when Robert Downey Jr. got out of jail, I wrote his monologue.
It wouldn't be a summer without hosting a barbecue. Yeah. Here's me picking up a little prescription from my pharmacist.
Britney Spears, when she was like 15 years old, the joke about her having, the monologue was about her having fake boobs and lip syncing.
Oh yeah, there's one more. Oh yeah, the one about my boobs being fake. That is just ridiculous. I mean, come on. I'm 18 and I'm still growing, you know?
I wrote that. So yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. And yeah, Saturday Night Live is such a staple, but now it's getting a lot of pushback from a lot of people now, saying that it's not as funny as it was, and that it's too political, slanted on one direction. What's your take on SNL today?
My take is that comedy, more than music and other art forms, is extremely temporal and linked to the moment we're in. And so the moment we're in now, Lorne Michaels is pretty brilliant about knowing who his bread and butter audience is. And so in my estimation, he's giving his core SNL fans what they want. I don't mean old fans who've been watching the show since the 70s. I mean younger people who want to see their pop culture, idols on the show and all their music stars. And so like any year, it can be hit or miss. I think that I was blessed to work with a brilliant cast, right? I had, during my years, Will Ferrell, Maya Rudolph, Norm Macdonald, Daryl Hammond, Tracy Morgan. These are heavyweights, right?
That's one of the best
and
seasons.
Molly Shannon, Sherry O'Terry. So not every year of SNL is blessed with an A-list cast like I had.
Right.
But it does go in cycles, because since I left the show, there's been some years where the cast is really impressive at the show, but then those people leave. And I know you're a sports fan. It's like when a baseball team has to rebuild. They suddenly are calling up people from the minors. It may take a while before you get the great team assembled.
Right on. Yeah, and another thing you hear a lot about with the Saturday Night Live, and I assume I know a lot of the cast members have said this, and I'm assuming the writers as well, is the grind of coming up with these sketches week in and week out. It can be grueling. What's that like? Walk me through a little bit of a normal week with.
Right. So what makes it grueling psychologically is that you're only as good as your last sketch that succeeded, and the pressure is tremendous. So if you have a great week, meaning one or two sketches that you wrote gets on the air and they're successful, when you come in Monday morning, you're back to square one. No one's giving you credit for those sketches you wrote. And now you got to do it all over again. And because there's so many writers on the show and not that many sketches that get on the air, your chances of getting anything on the air is not high.
Right.
So you can get in a slump like a baseball player where you go several shows in a row where none of your material is being used. And so it's devastating. On the other hand, you could get on a roll where every week you're getting something on, then you're on a high, but it doesn't last forever. So that's the roller coaster of being on the show. And it's why I was there 7 years. That's really twice as long as most writers even stay at the show.
Yeah, that is a long tenure. And plus, like you said, you have to have your confidence level has to be high, because you have to, and motivation, because it could easily, if you go a couple of weeks dry, you might start to self-doubt and all that kind of stuff might sink in.
Totally.
And that gets into now your do's and don'ts that you got going on here. You kind of have a online class for writing sketches.
There's two ways to win an Emmy Award.
You can be a talented writer on a hit show that wins the award, or you can buy it on eBay, like I did. Regardless, I worked at Saturday Night Live alongside Will Ferrell, Tina Fey, Tracy Morgan, Maya Rudolph, Norm Macdonald. And now I'm going to teach you sketch writing. So I hope you sign up. And if you actually thought that I bought this on eBay, you should definitely sign up for my class. Came about during the pandemic where I had time on my hands, can't work on TV shows as I normally do. So I thought, wow, you know what? I would love to teach TV sketch writing. I have a lot to say and I'm be good at it. So I started doing it over the summer really successfully. So right now I've got 2 classes going for beginners and for more advanced. And when I say beginners, it could be someone who's never written anything, or it could be someone who's, dabbled in stand-up comedy or playwriting or whatever. But it's really sort of a practical but really insightful course on how to write sketches, and not just for your own enjoyment, but to write sketches that will get you noticed, whether if you're doing viral videos or you want to write for television like Saturday Night Live. And of course, the selling point is that I'm teaching it. So I limit how many people are in each class. So you're getting personal feedback from me. You're bringing in material. You're sharing it with me in the class. And I'm showing a lot of sketches from Chappelle Show, Key and Peele, SNL as a teaching tool. So we analyze it. And I explain, why did this work? Why didn't this work? So but the comments from my students are that it's been incredibly fun and really insightful.
Wow. Yeah, that's some priceless stuff for anyone to kind of get almost a one-on-one lesson from you in doing this. A guy who's written for Saturday Night Live, but so many other things, award shows, all kinds of stuff. So and I like your one thing you're telling me that like in the use and don'ts kind of promo, you mentioned that actors are waiting for a scene, but there's a difference between a scene and a sketch.
Totally. A scene is a term, it's part of a story, right? Whether it's a play or a novel, it's something that happens that furthers the action or resolves. Well, in comedy sketches, we don't care about a story. You have 3 minutes or whatever to make people laugh their asses off. So you got to get them hooked really fast. You can end it really abruptly. No one cares. It's just about being as funny as you can in those few minutes, which is very different than a scene of like a Woody Allen movie or a Woody Allen or anything like that. Yeah.
Now, when it comes to premises, for you, is there anything off the table, or is it just
There's nothing? Nothing is off the table. But as I've said, Don, if you're going to joke about the Holocaust, cancer, people who are mentally challenged, then you damn well be better clever about it. Because if you're not 5 times as clever, people are going to take it the wrong way and not like it. So no, any subject I'm fine with using for comedy, but the stakes rise a lot if you pick a subject like those.
Yeah, and you know what, too? Sometimes you see like newer comedians, they want to come out of the gate and be edgy, and they try to use the risque stuff, but they're not there yet. And to me, it just teeters on bad taste. And you know what I mean? Like
I do.
But then when you see it done right, when you see somebody do a really touchy subject, but pull it through, there's like, wow, you got to tip the cap to that one because,
Totally agree. Well, I'll give you an example, like Dave Chappelle and Bill Burr and Louis C.K. These are masters of their craft, right? But if those guys get booed for a joke, well, then imagine some schmuck in a comedy club, who's not well-known, who's not good, who's not developed. They don't have a chance. And that shows you how hard it is to do a premise that's off-putting.
Yeah,
you just have to handle it really well.
Yeah, my advice to young comics is just don't go edgy right away. just
Right.
work on other material, get your joke writing skills down.
Yeah.
And then kind of graduate into that stuff. And I think that would go with sketches as well.
It does go. And if you don't mind, Don, I want to mention to people that if you want to take my class, there's still a few spots left for it's just go to hughfink.com, my name, and click classes, and you can sign up.
Beautiful. Put that down right here. It'll be in the lower third. And I'll also put the link in the body, the info part of the YouTube as well for
That's
everyone.
great. And right now I'm doing for your show and other VIPs a discount. If they put in UFINK, letter U, FINK, you get a little discount for the class. So
excellent. We much appreciate that. Thank you so much, my friend, for taking the time to talk to us. Do we tackle everything you wanted?
Last thing, I'm going to tell your listeners first. I'm about to release my new song parody.
Yes, the song.
Viral. So I will say, since you're from where you are, I've taken Billy Joel's "We Didn't Start the Fire."
Perfect.
And it's "We Didn't Stop the Virus." And it's a year-end look at 2020 and all the horrible things that have happened. And it's going to be really hot and funny. And if people just go on YouTube, look up "We Didn't Stop the Virus," you're going to find it.
Excellent. We're going to play it right now. We have it right here. It's going to be right here. It goes. Right.
It's going to disappear. One day, it's like a miracle. It will disappear. And from our shores, it could get worse.
Tucker, Limbaugh, Kellyanne, Fox News, OAN, Lou Dobbs, and Graham thought COVID was a joke. Mary Trump wrote a book calling Uncle Don a crook. Michael Flynn, Roger Stoning Jr., who snorts coke.
The director of national intelligence said it. And by the way, more importantly, the FBI said it. And I don't say that because I think the FBI has more.
Ted Cruz on a plane, sayonara, Herman Cain, Princess Ivanka's husband's Willy Wonka. Kim Guilfoyle loves to scream. That connection was obscene. Again. Blame it all on Beijing. Lindsay looks like Tiger King. We didn't stop the virus. We rejected science. Now your grandma's dying. We didn't stop the virus. It just kept on spreading at those Jewish weddings. Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, Kayleigh McEnany, Scary Murder, Hornets, Jordan, Doc, WAP, dance on TikTok. BLM arrest the cops, tear gas for this photo op entitled Racist Karens. Tubin showed his cock. GHISLAINE, Maxwell, Weinstein in a prison cell. QAnon sucks ass. So does Rogan's dumb podcast. Hamilton on Disney Plus. Next AM, what the fuck? R.I.P. RBG, guilty plea from Aunt Becky. We didn't stop the virus. We can't stop your coughing. We're too busy golfing. We didn't stop the virus. While the world's contagious, we put kids in cages. Anti-vaxxers out, boys. Bill Barr was a hemorrhoid. This weird lady, lawsuits flop. 4 seasons next to dildo shops. Sturgis, South Dakota bikes, driving up the COVID spikes. POTUS sucks at drinking water. Rudy caught with Borat's daughter.
They're nice.
Pence serves his master. Civil rights disaster. J-Lo sexy halftime show. Hey, remember these a-holes. Ellen Show, staff abuse. Elon Musk, what a douche. President Kanye, what else do I have to say? We didn't stop the virus. We found it unconcerning. Now our kids are learning. We didn't stop the virus. Death rate stopped declining because of indoor dining. No shows on Broadway, 2 titles for LA. Baby Yoda, Chia Pets, Redhead got us into chess. What's up with Kim Jong-un? Beirut goes kaboom. Unemployment backup plan, selling nudes on OnlyFans. All cap tweets, bankruptcies, can't destroy democracy. Donald lost, Biden won. Bring on 2021. We didn't stop the virus. Should have been investing in more rapid testing. We didn't stop the virus. It was bad for business, now we can't have Christmas. We didn't stop the virus. Will it go on and on and on and on? We didn't stop the virus. Will it go on and on and on and on and on and on and on?
Well, thanks again. Everyone can the use and don'ts. Is that what it's called? Use and don'ts for the class?
Yeah, well, the name of I have 2 classes. One's called Intro to Sketch Writing. The other is Advanced Sketch Writing. But you're right, Don. They do include my hues and don'ts of sketch writing.
Yes, perfect. And that's at
youfink.com.
Thank you so much, you. I really appreciate this. Like I said, I've been keeping up with you, watching you through the years. Back in the Rodney special, all the way through till now. So I really appreciate you taking the time. And all the best to you in 2021, and have a great Hanukkah and everything else that's going on, my friend.
Same to you. You did a great job. I love your show.
Oh, thank you. You rock, man.
Hold the phone, stop the presses. I have a very important announcement to make. Don Sills Show. Put up, shut up, and stand up on GOVS Radio. Maybe the best thing to prevent COVID since the N95 mask. Other things it's better than sliced bread, the clapper, actual sex. And that's saying a lot. Listen to it or be burned at the stake! I'm only kidding. Or am I?
All right, Benny, we're back. That was You Think. Pretty good, man. He's a good dude.
I love him.
He knows his comedy. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. The guy is great.
And everybody should take his course. He's teaching that course on sketch writing. It's an online course. Again, there's a promo code, You Think. And if you use the promo code, you get a discount. So everybody,
maybe I'll take that class.
Yeah, I think it's worth it, especially for any aspiring comedy
especially
writers.
for me,
Yeah, but it's good stuff. But with just to move it along here, man, we got GOVS Radio alumni, host of Limo Talk, Anthony Grazade, the Graz.
Great show.
Great show, fun show right there. Thursday nights at 9:45 p.m. through like to midnight or whatever. They just keep going. Those guys rock. It's Graz, Bobby, and the gang. They all do their thing. But Graz is a very open-minded guy. He doesn't hold back. He doesn't really have much of a filter. So who better to talk about the 2020 review than he's also a limousine driver. So he's always like out and about. He sees things that we don't necessarily see. Most of us have been quarantined or we're staying close. He's in and out of the city all the time, New York City. So he's seen it all, and he gets to share some of his stories with us. So hey, man, check it out. It's pretty cool. Graz.
Cool.
So I do want to kind of go through an overview and get some of your thoughts on some of the milestones that we went through this past 2020. Okay. We had the big pandemic, which ruined our whole year. So just take me through, as a limo driver, New York City, what's it look like now?
Fucking hole. It's a hole. I've been driving since March 22nd. It's going on 9 months and about 5 more days. What's the, in 8 more days, it's going on 9 months. I've seen the steady decline of New York City. It's nothing but lots of homeless, a lot of boarded up buildings, no restaurants, outside huts to eat at restaurants that you sit there when you turn the corner. If you don't turn the corner the right way, you're plowing right into the fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not being political, but that's the de Blasio New York and the Cuomo New York, and that's what they want, and what they're doing is not right. Something needs to be done, because there's no restaurants, there's homeless, there's drug addicts, and there's shit.
Sorry, Hillary. I was running on CP time.
That's not. I don't like jokes like that, Bill. That's not funny.
So it's like everything Giuliani did all those years ago to kind of
gone. It's gone. It's a weird feeling now. There's an uneasiness. If you saw yesterday, there was doing some kind of Christmas thing at a church in the city, and all of a sudden some guys comes behind him and starts shooting a gun in the air, and then has a standoff. You would never have that. Don, listen, I'm not. What we're going through is for our kids. You have children. I have children. I want a good future for them. Yeah. I wouldn't. My son is just graduated from college. He's going to work in Manhattan. He's going to go get an apartment in Manhattan. They're offering 3 months free rent onto his rent. Are you kidding me? 3 months free? That's got to tell you how bad it is.
Yeah, man, for real. They're practically begging him to move there.
They're begging him to move in. All you see is moving trucks everywhere, and it's a sad state. Listen, I've been working. I have a law firm that's kept me busy. I've maintained my business. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God, because if they didn't do for what they did for me, I would be dead. But that being said, I've tried, because I've gotten all these things, and because I've been working, I've been trying to help people out, trying to do my part in little ways.
Right.
but it's a shithole, dude. It's a shithole.
Yeah, man.
I wouldn't suggest if you want to go in and go see the tree, go get out of the car, take a picture, and get back in the car real quick and go.
You heard it here, folks. Graz is you're in the city quite often, so you've actually seen the through the months the slow decline of.
Oh.
And then have you driven through any riots or any? Have you seen any of the protests?
Two. I was going home in April with one of my customers going to Jersey City, and I'm making a right-hand turn, and here they are coming to me. That I turned right back. I did a sharp turn, and he went flying in the back. He turned to me, and I go, I've never done that to him before. I go, I am so sorry. He goes, are you kidding me? He goes, thank you very much. You just saved us. They were coming. They were throwing rocks at all the stores on the side, and they're coming towards my car, and I go, whoop, and go straight. I was out of there. And then I had another one where parallel to me as I'm driving, you see them walking and shattering windows. It's been pretty disconcerting, Don.
Yeah, man.
Very, very disconcerting.
Get back! Get the fuck back! Come on! Back up! Get back! Get the fuck back!
There's UFOs confirmed that from the Pentagon that we have UFOs, and now this Israeli politician has now come out and said that there is in fact aliens walking among us.
Totally believe it. Totally believe it. Totally believe it. I think there's a couple of aliens at GOVS Radio. There's a couple of hosts that I know in the evening. They look like aliens. Jesus Christ! Look at Jeff. Look at Jeff Bosey. That guy's definitely from Saturn.
Like, you have that one antenna that sticks out, and the sad thing is, like you don't realize it at all. You never realize.
I totally believe it. I think there's aliens around us. I've seen streaks, and it doesn't look like meteors. It looks like a fucking thing sitting there watching over us, and boom, they're gone. They don't want to come here right now, Don. They're like, are you kidding me? Why do I want to land now? These people are crazy.
Yeah, they want to get the hell out of here.
Fuck that.
If there is aliens, the UFO broke down and they're like stuck here and they just want to get the hell out.
They were like, all right, why is there an intergalactic alarm over in San Diego? Because there's a UFO who wants to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he just wants to get the hell out of here. He got caught up in the riots too.
He's in the San Diego freeway right now. He needs to get the hell out of here before he gets killed.
Yeah, he's worried because he's got a Trump bumper sticker and they're chasing him.
Oh, that's great.
Get back, brother, get back.
Oh shit. So also the last thing I wanted to talk to you about was now this cancel culture and you know, being in the comedy world as we are, what's your take on this whole cancel culture, political correctness that's kind of evolved into where you know guys like us, you know, old school guys, we don't even know how to talk anymore without getting in trouble.
You know what? I don't know what we're allowed to say anymore. I watch what I try. I really watch what I try to say a lot now because I don't want to use R for the R word for retarded. You can't use the N word. You can't. You know, I put a R&B song on about 8 months ago. It dropped the N word a couple of times, and I got my co-host sitting there going, "Why'd you do that?" I go, "Why? It's free speech." I go, "I'm not saying it."
Right.
The rapper is. Oh no, you can't be doing that. No, you know what? We can do that. We can, but there's too much political correctness, and you're not allowed to say what you want anymore, and it's sad.
Yeah, it's sad because when you do say something that they don't like, the other, you know, whoever the police out there, the cancel culture police, they don't just. You know, they won't just cancel your show. They'll come after you. They'll try to take your job and your house and, like, you know, ruin you. And that's where I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
You got to watch what you say. And I'm learning that a lot now, and I don't like it, but I think that it's also, I think it's going to get worse before it gets any better. I think Now with the new regime coming in, they're going to watch it even more.
Yeah, it's.
What do you think? What do you think?
I think that the comedians have to stand up, because I think that comedy is kind of the last barrier.
Bastion. It's the last bastion.
Yeah, and if now they're coming after comedians, right? And that's where we have to fight that, because if they silence the comedians, I think everything's gonna be, that's it, end of story. You know, it's completely communist at that point.
They're gonna have to. Governors is gonna have to put like a pre thing in the speaker. Hi, you've reached. This is Governor's Comedy Club. Anything that's said on the premises over the next hour and a half is meant as comedy. We are not looking to offend anyone, or something like that. They're gonna have to do that just to preface if these guys use the C word or the N word or whatever.
Yeah.
Bobby Inzarello said something I thought was profound. He goes, they're not going to let these comedians go on until the election's over because they don't want them making fun of Biden.
I think there's a lot of reasons why, because why did they only hit entertainment? Like, you know, over the summer, it was the comedy clubs and music, any ticketed event. So I think I don't know what they were trying to kill our morale, you know.
Governors went out and put a patio. The guy put a patio on that's nicer than half the comedy clubs.
Yeah.
It's a nice patio.
Yeah.
They did a good job. And they went, and it's outside. And then they're telling them, no? Are you out of your mind? No. The guy spent all this money. You're telling him no now.
Yeah.
So I think that the comics, I think we're all in a tough spot. And I think that if the management of Govs Radio and the management of Governors stands by the people that do their comedy, then we should be okay. If we're going to sit there and they're not going to back us up, then we're dead.
Yeah, I agree. The comedians and also the club owners all have to take a stand for free speech and for the First Amendment, and you know, and understand that it's comedy. Yeah, there's a lot of social commentary in comedy, but that's comedy goes all the way back to the jester. You know, who made fun of the king. The emperor has no clothes. You need that voice.
I think. Listen. I know that they're trying to squash it, but you know what? If the club says on an announcement while people are sitting, listen, it could get political. They could make fun of everything. It's comedy. If you don't like it, we understand it. But don't walk out. Don't boo. Don't heckle. Sit there. And if you don't like it, you go out and then you write to governors that you didn't like the comedy of this certain comedian. Right?
Or or like you said, if you're ultra sensitive to being offended, to just don't go, you know, just stay home.
But you know, you're not going to get that. People want to get out. And I think you're going to get even more of that next year, that people are just going to want to get out of the house.
Okay, I'm bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Bored in the motherfucker in the house bored, and I'm bored in the motherfucker in the house bored. Bored in the house, bored in the house bored. Bored in the house, bored in the house bored. I'm bored in the motherfucker in the house bored.
It's crazy. We're in ultra sensitive times. And you know, people got to ease up, but the more power we give to those people, so the more times everybody complains about being offended, and then there's like this major action taken, we're giving the power to the wrong side, is the way I see it. Because every time, like, if a comedian says something, you cancel that comedian. That empowers the whiners of the world, and
correct,
and it handcuffs the comedian. So, you know, it's going to be bad for comedy overall if that's the case. It's going to be such bland, vanilla comedy, man.
You know what Mr. Imus used to say? Use characters, Mr. Imus. We use characters. Right. So you got, you know, that's what I try to do now. If I'm going to say something inappropriate, I try to use a character.
Yeah. Like I was saying,
it wasn't me. It was my character, Ed Ogeron from the LSU football Tigers.
Like I was talking to this guy Roger Cabler. He does a tribute to Robin Williams. He looks like Robin Williams and shit.
Oh, I know who he is. He was on your show.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been following everything, man. You've been getting great comedians.
Oh,
Kudos to you, dude.
Thanks, man. Yes, but Roger was talking about you can get away with saying things when he's in character, and also if you have a puppet, you can really get away with anything. Then you have like
I got a puppet at the office.
Yeah.
Man. We use it all the time.
Yeah,
I'll say it all the time. Mr. Imus says you can use characters.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll always remember that. As long as you got a character and say it. Hey, it wasn't me. It was it was Donald Trump.
Yeah, exactly. So Graz, finally, I just want to ask you, what do you think of the new year, 2021? what's this year? What we got to look forward to in your mind?
I think we got a vaccine came out today, right? The first lady in Long Island, a nurse in the ICU unit at Long Island Jewish, got a vaccine. She gets another one in 2 weeks. She was the first one. 300,000 coming out today. I figure, you know what? I think if the powers that be wanted to go right, we'll get a vaccine. Everybody should be getting that stuff by April or May. I would hope that we should go back to normal by June or July. I know that my law firm, the one I work with, I don't think that people are coming back into the office till maybe February or March. I think everybody's a little scared now with this surge. It's being, December. We're almost at, New Year's.
Right.
I think everybody's nervous, like yourself. I think there's going to be this surge in January, February. I think it's going to die down, and by maybe June or July, we should, May, June or July, we should be back to normal. You asked me for a resolution, right?
Yeah.
My resolution is to make sure that we bring good radio from all of us at GOVS Radio to people that are having a hard time. Right now, I've been trying to make these people laugh because I know there's people unemployed. I know there's people that don't, some. I know one. We raised all that money for the foodathon, and I ended up giving out finally to 2 people. And one of the comedians turned to me and she goes, "I didn't know how I was going to eat if you didn't give me this money."
Wow.
So I know, I know it's a scary time for a lot of people. So I think that we should try to make these people laugh and hopefully, try to make their day better and hopefully make GOVS Radio into a powerhouse that it should be.
Right
Don?
on. Right on, Graz. Graz, you're a good dude, man. You got a big heart, and you're hilarious. I love your show. I love what you're doing. And yeah, just keep it going, my friend.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean this sincerely, and I want to repeat this. I think your show's doing a hell of a job. I like Benny. Benny's my man. Tell Benny I don't like him, but I want to hang out with the Goops. All right?
You got it.
Tell Nigel Fulton I will go fucking head to head with him on a roast battle anytime, and I'm not a comedian, and I will fucking roast his ass.
You heard it here first, folks. Yeah, we're gonna make that one happen. This is good stuff. Graz, thanks
Listen,
again.
you African American Shrek.
Nice. Everybody, make sure you catch Limo Talk. It's Thursday nights, 9:30 p.m.
9:45. We've been 9:45. We've been pushed back.
Okay, 9:45 p.m. and it kind of goes on till it ends, right? You just kind of.
Yeah, I've been getting bored lately, so it's about usually an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours. Once we go back into the studio, there could be a chance we might go 24 hours until Tony and Sally show up the next day.
That would be awesome.
If they find me in the back of the studio with a couple of strippers and a couple of guys hanging out naked, there was a party.
There you go. There you go. Anthony Graziadei, thank you so much, my friend. You're awesome, man. I really appreciate you taking the time, man.
Truly my honor that you had me on, Don. I wish you guys good luck. PUSUSU on Saturday nights, right? Or you have a new night now,
We
Don,
moved
right?
to Wednesday. Wednesday nights at 7:30. Yeah.
Wednesday nights at 7:30, PUSUSU. Catch them and then catch Limo Talk on Thursday nights. And then the rest of the GOVS Radio lineup, they're pretty good too.
Yes, indeed. Thanks again, Graz. Appreciate it, man. All right, Benny, that's the show for today, man. It was a fun one, another fun one. It's the end of the year. It's Happy New Year time. We're going to, sit in front of our living rooms and watch an empty Times Square. It's going to be weird, an empty Times Square, man.
Empty Times Square and a blue ball dropping. It's a blue ball New Year's. Watch the blue balls drop.
A blue ball New Year, indeed.
A blue ball New Year. We'll watch that one shiny testicle drop by itself. The confetti. Why have confetti? But it's the last show of 2020. And then, God bless everybody. And I hope that we all have a much better year.
3, 2, 1, light them up. Let's see 2021 here. It's here. Thank you, 2021, and thank you, Kia. Yay! Woo!
Yeah, and we'll be back in 2 weeks or so. We're going to take 2 weeks off from here, but everybody remember you could still subscribe to us at YouTube.com/put-up-shut-up-stand-up. We'll have new stuff coming out weekly still on there. So just check it out. Subscribe and make sure you hit the bell so you can get notified when all of our new stuff gets posted. And you don't have to miss anything. You get to see the best of Benny, the best of the Gagoots, and some of our Donversations with all these
I love it. Yeah, the Donversations.
Yes. So but stay tuned for that. And again, when we come back in 2 weeks, there'll be more of the Gagoots. There'll be more of Renee May and even more of Professor Fedora and Joey Petroni. So all the cast of characters are coming back in 2021.
And maybe one Dick Eldorado.
Yeah. A lot of fun stuff. But everybody, I want to wish you all a happy new year. Be smart and be safe out there, folks. And pretty soon we'll be vaccinated and we'll all be back at it. So God bless and peace out, everybody.
Peace, baby. You're awesome, buddy.
No, you're awesome.
You're awesome.